And good evening once again. So you are logged into family check-in session by the Almond Band for the month of August. And this month we'll be talking about a very critical topic. How attached are you? Understanding your connection blueprint. So this topic is a very serious one because there's a pattern of so many persons being in toxic relationship and they're comfortable in it, or some persons acting like you are being you're begging them for love, or some person just acting so funny and you're asking yourself, why is this person acting this way? Is it me? Or somebody breaks up with you and tell you it's not me, it's you. So today we are going to find out why some persons say it's not me, it's not you, it's me. We're going to find out why some of these statements come up more frequently in relationships. And as a way of introduction, this particular topic is very essential because early life experiences, love, neglect, trauma actually shape the way we bond in adulthood. Whether you like it or not, everything you're acting right now stems from how you were as a child. You cannot run away from what happened to you when you were a child. You cannot run from it. You can only become better than what happened. So some person, when you see them acting in a very funny ways, indeed sometimes when they say it's not you, it's me, it's actually them that is the problem. So and this is it boils down to the attachment blueprint. So when we're talking about this particular video in the tap circle community, we just were just surprised on how this particular lady was comfortable and smiling and laughing even when she was going through a lot. And we found I just made the comment that it was her style. So this attachment blueprint actually affect the way we handle conflicts, fight or flight, and how we receive or how we give love, or our resilience when somebody say, I don't want you anymore, during rejection, when you lose somebody that you have already said that you sell the whole world, you give them the whole world. I wonder where you want the rest of us to be. But that's by the way. So research actually shows that insecure attachments increase risks of depression, anxiety, and even suicidal behavior. And it's very critical because we'll be talking about these different attachment styles. So understanding the four relationship attachment style, what you should actually know is that attachment style attachment theory explains how our early relationship shapes model bonds, emotional bonds throughout life, and it defines these four main styles: secure, anxious, avoidant, and disorganized. And recognizing these styles can actually help every one of us to understand our behavior and improve relationships around us, to even foster good connections with our partners, with our loved one, even with our friends, funny enough. So for the secure attachments, individuals with this secure attachment, they foster healthy trust relationship and they are more emotionally stable. We'll get into all but other in details. For anxious attachment, it links to clinginess and fear of abandonment. They're always anxious that somebody will leave them, and all this has to do with what happened to them when they were a child. Avoidant attachment results in emotional distance and reluctance to connect deeply. You just find out that you have been dating somebody, you have no clue who this person actually is. You don't know their age, they're always hiding something, they're like a ghost in the relationship. You don't know why, they are just distance, and they will come today, pour nuts inside your bucket and disappear again. Then we have disorganized attachment that combines both anxiety and avoidance. Another word will actually be avoidant fear avoidant attachment. So it combines anxiety and avoidance and it leads to chaotic relationship. Today they are here, tomorrow they are missing. It's all just unlike anxious that I know that they have a constant fear of, or avoidant that I know they're emotionally disorganized. Today they are with you, tomorrow they will leave you and they will come back. They will leave you because something is just wrong somewhere. So again, so secure attachment style. Um Secure attachment, individuals with secure attachment style exhibit healthy relationship patterns. They um just a second. Yes, they are comfortable with intimacy, dependency, giving and receiving love. This style fosters strong emotional bond leading to effective communication and conflict resolution. You can just sense when somebody has a secure attachment because most of the time they don't give love because they are waiting to receive something in return, or they don't put a tag on their love that they are giving to you. So they are empathetic, supportive, and they contribute to positively relationship dynamics, and they're even more likely to have a fulfilling relationship because they have established trust, a sense safe of safety with their partners, and it just help them to be more satisfied in their relationship. And their core strength, like we say, independency, being emotionally regulate, and it helps them actually because it helps strong social support. They can handle conflict without fear or withdrawal. They can tell you, see, this is what you did, I don't like it. Not that they will withdraw when something happen, or they fear that you will react somewhere. They can confront it and still give you love even after they have confronted this particular conflict. And they are more resilient to even life stressors. So most people you see bounce back after something happened to them. Most times they have greater resilience, they have secure attachment style. So there's also an attachment style called, like we said, anxious and avoidant. So I would share something quickly so that you tell me what you notice. Please pay attention to everything. This is an avoidant attachment rehab right now. And you notice everything that this avoidant attachment person here actually says. Let me know if you can also hear it clearly.
All right, let's go over this again. What do we want? Connection and closeness with another person. Great. And what are we going to do when we get that connection? Sabotage it. No. Avoid vulnerability like the plague. Also, no. Run away at the first sign of closeness. Jimmy. Take constructive feedback as an attack. Shut down during conflict, leaving my partner feeling unheard and alone. Nope. Dismiss and invalidate their feelings as irrational. Please don't do that. Numb out and suppress my feelings so far down that I don't even know if they exist anymore. That is not healthy. Be fiercely independent. You can't trust anyone but yourself. Who hurt you? Refuse to take accountability or apologize for anything because that would mean I'm a failure. That is untrue. Reject them before they can reject me. We're gonna get you some help, okay? I think if I'm honest deep down, I'm just scared of losing myself. What's that? I mean, if I truly let myself love someone and fully take my armor off, I can't protect myself from being hurt. That was so beautiful and so vulnerable, and I really think we can build. So I'm gonna ghost them and then just unknowingly repeat this process with someone else. No, we were so close.
So can somebody in the comments tell me
All right, let's go over this again.
what did you pick from this particular video? This is like a consultation session. If you want, I can play it again. What did you notice? This is more like an interaction. It's not only me. So what did you notice? Should I play it again? If you want me to play it again, you can let me know.
Please play it again.
Okay. So this is an avoidant who came for therapy session, and this is what he has to say. So let's listen. Let me increase my volume.
All right, let's go over this again. What do we want? Connection and closeness with another person. Great. And what are we going to do when we get that connection? Sabotage it. No. Avoid vulnerability like the plague. Also, no. Run away at the first sign of closeness. Jimmy. Take constructive feedback as an attack. Shut down during conflict, leaving my partner feeling unheard and alone. Nope. Dismiss and invalidate their feelings as irrational. Please don't do that. Numb out and suppress my feelings so far down that I don't even know if they exist anymore. That is not healthy. Be fiercely independent. You can't trust anyone but yourself. Who hurt you? Refuse to take accountability or apologize for anything because that would mean I'm a failure. That is untrue. Reject them before they can reject me. We're gonna get you some help, okay? I think if I'm honest deep down, I'm just scared of losing myself. What's that? I mean, if I truly let myself love someone and fully take my armor off, I can't protect myself from being hurt. That was so beautiful and so vulnerable, and I really think we can build. So I'm gonna ghost them and then just unknowingly repeat this process with someone else. No, we were so close.
So please, who can tell me what they noticed from what the avoidant personnel actually said during the therapy session? But while we are still writing that, I will share a second one so that you deeply understand what what this is all about, so that when somebody is acting, you start seeing that this thing is beyond what you actually think. So I'll share a second video and please just watch. Why? Okay, I've seen it. Okay, can you see my screen? A thumbs up, a reaction will let me know. Are we together?
Yes, I can see it,
Okay,
but it's not playing.
okay, let me increase this and please let's watch, please.
Of relationship that is alternately passionate. There is a certain sort of relationship that is alternately passionate, fiery, and painfully unfulfilling, and that tends to puzzle both outsiders and its participants. A relationship between one person who is, as psychologists put it, anxiously attached, and another who is avoidantly attached. There is, in such couplings, a constant game of push and pull. The anxiously attached party typically complains, more or less loudly, that their partner is not responsive enough. They accuse them of being emotionally distant, withholding, cold, and perhaps physically uninterested too. The avoidant lover, for their part, stays relatively quiet, but in their more fed up moments complains that the anxious party is far too demanding, possibly mad, and, as they put it pejoratively, needy. One person seems to want far too much, the other far too little. The unhappiness unfolds in a cycle. At the start, the anxious partner loves the avoidant one with great intensity, but in time, also growing frustration. The dissatisfaction grows ever more intense until, eventually, one day, fed up with so much seeming rejection, the anxious partner overcomes their fears, decides they need something better, and tells their lover that they're off. At which point, the avoidant party undergoes a complete sea change. Their greatest fear, that of being engulfed in love, disappears at a stroke and reveals something that is normally utterly submerged in their character, a fear of being abandoned. Wholly liberated from the threat of being engulfed, the anxious one may by now have packed their bags, the avoidant one gives free rein to all their reserves of pent-up romanticism and ardour, which feel utterly safe to bring out now that there seems so little danger of reciprocation. Despite their fury, the anxious person hears the honeyed words and forthright promises, and, after some initial doubts, can't help but be won over. The formerly distant partner appears to have become, in the nick of time, as they'd always wanted them to be, a warm soul. There is no reason not to return. After all, it's not that they didn't love this person, it was the feeling they weren't loved back that was making things impossible. For a time, there is bliss, and it seems that the couple are headed for long-term happiness. Liberated from their anxiety around engulfment, the avoidant partner gives free expression to love. Liberated from their fear of abandonment, the anxious one is left feeling secure and trusting. But soon enough, the problems return. Things become, as it were, too nice for the avoidant partner. It seems the anxious one isn't going to leave them anymore. They're just going to stick around and seek ever greater closeness. And so the old fear of engulfment returns. They have no option but to start to pull away again and get distant, which gradually proves intolerable once again to the anxious partner. Within weeks or months, the pair are back in the same situation. Fierce arguments return. The words needy and cold are once more in circulation. It's time for another crisis and another threat of departure. It may go on like this for years or a lifetime. From the outside, it is almost funny. From the inside, simply hellish. There are a few ways out. The avoidant party can realize and learn to tolerate their fear of engulfment. The anxious party can grow conscious of their unnatural pull towards unfulfilling people, refuse to go back after a crisis, and seek a future with more secure and reassuring sorts. Or, yet more hopefully for the couple, both partners could acquire a vocabulary of attachment theory. They could come to observe their repetitions, gain some insight into aspects of their childhoods that drive them on, and learn not to act out, their compulsions. They can learn the games that they're unconsciously playing, and then, to the relief of all who care for them, and to the redemption of the relationship, they can refuse to play them any longer.
And that is
Our book,
it
Sorrows of
for this video. Please let me know what you saw there. But let me go back to sharing my, no, I still have one more video that, so that I know why I'm insisting on this, so that anytime you are faced with somebody acting very weird, you stop blaming yourself for too much problems and just move ahead with your life, or you negotiate. So this is it. One last, please pay attention to this.
The avoidant is in control of the relationship. And some of you who are on this end of the spectrum, you know how horrible this feels. The relationship is always controlled by the person who can pull away. Because a relationship, it's like, I want you to imagine there's a kiddie pool in between us of water. To have a relationship, I have to, with my free will, step into that kiddie pool. And you have to step in too. I'm totally at the mercy of that. So if what I need is your closeness, that's what a relationship is, right? Then I'm at the mercy of your capacity to go. And the avoidant is the one that can do it. So we basically sit here at the castle door that's mostly closed, waiting for you to open. The avoidant is in control of.
So this is it. Let me go back to sharing my slide so that I explain what you've just watched. So there's anxious and there's avoidant attachment styles. So have you ever met, if you've ever met, please let me see thumbs up, let me see reaction. You can also use the chat box. Have you ever met someone that all of a sudden they're acting, or you've heard somebody say something, he's too nice for me. Who've ever had, she's too nice, I don't, she's too calm, she's too this. Every time she's always, you can even tell her to enter fire and she'll enter fire. You can tell him to enter fire. I can even send him on errand to the market. Good. The next time you hear that kind of statement from somebody saying, just know that that person is an avoidant attachment style person here. Why? Because they're actually avoiding commitment. They are used to chaos, or rather, they don't want, they feel engulfed by too much love. They don't, and it all stems from their childhood, which we'll go into. So people with this avoidant lifestyle, attachment style, they tend to value independency. You can hear somebody is 50 years, they're just living singlehood and all those kinds. Sometimes you don't need to blame people that do that, because they have studied themselves and they may know that if they get into relationship with somebody, that person, and since they are the one, like this lady just shared with us, I'm trying to remember her name, I think something Swan explained, they are the one in control. Since they are the anxious is always leaning for love. The avoidant, it depends on if they will come or if they will go, right? So in this kind of situation right now, they already built, they value their own independence. So they have, some persons have decided that instead of them to suffer another individual, they rather remain single. So next time you are seeing some persons, don't start asking them, so why have you not married and all those kind of things. You never can tell what's going on and what they are trying to deal with, because they have to deal with this their attachment style and learn to receive love without fear, and or they are emotionally distant. You can tell them something else and they'll just say, okay, they don't actually understand what you're saying. Why the anxious attachment style, they are afraid of somebody leaving them. Maybe their parent left them when they were small, something happened, so they always feel that you will leave them one day. Something might have happened. So the key difference between this is that anxious individuals crave closeness, avoidant do not want closeness. When you now see two people in relationship like that, is why it always break up. Or you hear they break up, they came back together, they break up, they came back together, because these persons, one, the two of them cannot be in the same boat. Either the anxious had to look for someone that is secure. He needs somebody that, or she needs somebody that is secured that already know what loves looks like. We've already explained what secure attachment means. They know how to regulate their love. So an anxious person that is feeling hasn't fear of abandonment, even if they will still work on it, they need someone that is secure, that understands their personality, their attachment style, to give them that love back. And also reaffirm. Anxious people need reassurance every time. You cannot be with an avoidant that is cannot reassure you that tomorrow he cannot leave you, because the truth of it is that avoidant can actually leave you tomorrow. So you cannot expect them to assure you that they will not leave you tomorrow. They themselves are overwhelmed that they don't like you around them. So then, now this is a comparison between anxious avoidance and and anxious and avoidant attachment styles. That's nice. The one seeks constant reassurance, I just said it, fear, they are always fear of abandonment. The other one values independence and dismiss anything emotional, anything cancel. The and in between, indirectly, they have difficulties, challenges expressing themselves. One cannot express to give love, the other one does not want the love at all. Please keep it to yourself. So now you should understand there's another fourth attachment style. This is disorganized attachment style. These persons have issues trusting another person in relationship. You are always a suspect. There's nothing you want to do that they cannot suspect you. Where are you going to? What is happening to today? They are in love with you. Tomorrow you are a suspect. So, and all these things are very critical because you should know that it all stems from something. They are inconsistent in their emotional responses. Today, you tell them I love you, they'll tell you I love you, but tomorrow you tell them I love you, they'll just be, then what's the love for? They had, if you used to, when you hear that somebody is giving me green light, it look like red light, it give me, that person probably has a disorganized attachment style. That's why today the sister or the brother is giving you green light, tomorrow it's giving red light. You don't know what is going on in their head because they want closeness, but they are afraid of getting close to you. They are afraid of commitment. They are disorganized. And now in the next slides, we'll see where it all comes from. So the secure attachment from childhood, they are caregivers. Why we use caregivers in is because some persons did not grow up with their parents. They were adopted or they lived in a care home and all. So we use caregivers. So caregivers, when you hear it, you're talking about parents or their aunts, there's anybody that was in charge of these children when they were young, these persons who are now adults. The caregivers were consistent, they were responsive, the child felt safe. When they expressed that something, they are crying, the parents did not push them away and say, why are you crying? Boys don't cry, that kind of things. Even when the parents were not perfect, they were good enough, attuned, they were present. These were present parents. So when you see people with this secure attachment, it's because their parents were present in their life, so they can be present for another person. You cannot give what you don't have. So secure adults balance independence and closeness. They know when they tell you I need space, they know how to balance it on their own, and they know when they want to be close and they communicate. They don't really have communication issues like that because they know how to balance it. They are still work in progress, but they are more, you can talk to these people without fear. They leave toxic situation more easily because they believe that they'll be okay without that relationship. People that are secure, if you tell them I'm breaking up with you, they will tell you okay, because they know that their life did not end in that relationship. Unlike the anxious, when you tell them I'm leaving a relationship, they will start feeling afraid that something is wrong somewhere. That means I cannot be loved. After this person, there cannot be anybody like me. But a secure person, I think each and every one of us should get to that point where we are in secure attachment, where if something happen, you know that in this world, after all, you came to this world alone, but God is with you every time and you'll be okay. There's someone always better. I always used to tell people that when Elijah wanted to give up and that Jezebel was after him, and he said, Lord, I'm the only one. There was something Jesus told him. He said, I had 3,000 soldiers that have not bowed down to buy. If you think you're the only one, you're not the only one, please. So then for anxious, now this is what I want you to understand when you see some persons doing. Another thing we should always try to understand is when you notice persons act this way, you should not judge them because you now have the idea of why they are doing it, but you should look them through the lens of what made them this way. We should always ask ourselves, why did they become like this? Not why are you like this? They are different. what made you like this different from why are you like this? Why are you like this is that you are accusing them that they made themselves like this. But attachment style, research has it that from even when you were young, your attachment style can change when you go to a new environment. Your attachment style can change from when you were with your parents. When you now get to adult and living with certain persons, with a friend, let me say for 10 years or for this one, it can change with that environment. So you hear some parents say, this is not the child I sent to school, the child I sent to is different from this one. Their attachment style actually changed. But now we are looking at the roots more because e also come from childhood. These persons that are inconsistent, that are always anxious and looking for love is because the child, sometimes they came to their parents were very inconsistent. Sometimes they showed love, sometimes the parents disappeared, sometimes the parents shout, don't you come to into my room, you don't, I'm busy right now. All those kind of shouts and all. So the child is always guessing, if I come now with this person, is the person in the mood at this moment to love me or give me the love I deserve at this moment, like I'm feeling? So even most anxious attachment persons don't know how to communicate their love because they don't know how your reaction will be if they tell you that they need love at this moment. That is why I will always say that you should be with a secure person, that when you communicate what you want, they can understand. Even when you have not understood it, a secure person has an idea of these things I'm discussing, at least, so that you will not be able to communicate what you need. And often another a trauma link too is that they are often rooted in emotional neglect, emotional abuse, or unpredictable parenting. Is this unpredictable one that is just something else, and even emotional abuse because the parents have used words, or the caregiver have used words, you're stupid, you are see your head, are you the only one that have all those kind of words that impact the child. So they're always waiting for something bad to happen, right? And the adult impact is that they fear they will leave you. And an anxious person, when you tell them I'm leaving you, I'm breaking up with you, that's when they will even do more, because that's when they will hold on to that relationship because they don't know if another person will come. And they always believe that if I do more, maybe this person will stay. If I do more, this person will love me, will give me the love I need. Maybe person, that's the problem. That's why you see some person in toxic relationship. This is because of their styles growing up. People have left, they don't want this their partner to leave too. Then we have avoidant. And this avoidant, like I said, they are caregivers. When you see some people they are afraid of love, is because their caregivers were either not available, or their caregivers dismissed them or rejected them at the time they felt there was no need anymore. If I've been coming since and you did not give me, so why should I go to you anymore? It's just like you've been going to a well to fetch water, you've never seen water. Why will you, even when somebody tell you water is there in that well, you will not believe that water is there because you've been going, you did not see it. So they just feel their needs do not matter, and it's linked to emotional neglect, physical, even co-parenting, where it's only your academic that matter. What matters to me is what you produce in your book, what you did, what this one, all these other things do not matter. We have in our families, we are all this, in our family we are all lawyers, in our this one we are all this. This is the root where you see persons acting like this, is this kind of thing. So they struggle with intimacy, they avoid vulnerability, and they suppress their pain. That is another thing you need to know. It's not that they want to avoid you, or the thought of love. It's just that again they don't know what it looks like. They did not see it. They did not see it, right? And most times they suppress their pain, and it's make them stay longer than, when they now suppress this pain, they build an armor with the pain. So they don't need any money and anybody anymore, and they can handle it. They may not leave because detachment will actually feel safer than, they may not leave because detachment feels safer than facing loneliness. So if you watch that video, when the anxious attachment partner said that she's, or he, because they did not specify the gender, was leaving the relationship, the avoidant was like, "Ah, I don't want to be alone, but I may not give this love." And that is a very dangerous thing. Instead of them to be alone, they start giving drops of water. You know, the anxious has been saying, I need love. You're not showing up the way I want. You're not doing what I want. The avoidant, and it's a very psycho it's very, you need to take note of it so that you stop having problems with certain people, especially entering relationship up and down. Once the avoidant see that you want to leave the relationship and they know they don't want to be alone, they will not start dropping drops of water, giving you that thing you've been asking for. That's when they'll start giving it to you, small small. Then it will bounce, the relationship will bounce back. That anxious will be like, the person has changed oh. He's not giving me what I need and all. He's not making me feel he has changed. He have done anything, she has changed and all. Then immediately you feel you now balance, you that is anxious and all. The avoidant will say, you cannot, she will not leave. Do you know how this thing used to play out? It used to play in marriage. So first of all, in relationship, when you are dating, this is what happened, right? The partner was feeling, the anxious person here was complaining. Then she or he say, I'm leaving the relationship. The avoidant say, if I do this one now, she'll leave. He will not propose to you. You will not marry. Because you know that if he gets married to you, you cannot say I'm leaving anymore. So the marriage proposal is not because they love you and because they have changed. The marriage proposal is that they don't want to be alone. Do you get? They don't want to be alone. So they propose to you and start dropping drops of water, making you feel like, things have changed. You will now get married. When you now sign that contract, you cannot leave. Or, you know, before you can carry your bag and go. Now you cannot leave. Now you'll be in that marriage alone. You got married to yourself. And you know, divorce, going through divorce case, especially in my country where I come from, Nigeria, you go through, they will always adjourn your case, especially if it's the woman that fight for it. They will adjourn your case. So this is what happens most times, that you hear that, did you not see it in the marriage? And the lady is saying that he changed. Is because they gave you drops of water, or the man said that she was not like, they gave you drops of water so that they will put you, and they will be bearing Mr. or they will be bearing Mrs. or you have children. Some of them, they want to just have, because they don't want to be alone, they will tell you, they will want you they will want to have children in the house. So now they got married to you because they want you to bear seeds for them. You know they don't like loneliness. It's safer for them than being attached to you. Just let them be in the house. So you used to hear people get married and they love their children more than their wife. Most of that particular this is avoidant attachment. They don't want to be attached to even their children. They may not even be attached to their children, but it's better that when they come to the house, people are around in the house. So know this, please. Then we have disorganized attachment. So these childhood roots, the caregivers were a source of both comfort and fear. So this, they grew up with abusive parents who also gave them food, gave them clothes. The child nervous system now is confused. Did he love me or he not? Since I know he used to beat me, but he used to feed me. That means he loved me, just that he does not know how to show it. The moment you start questioning yourself concerning, he shows it, maybe he does not know how to, you start giving how do my friend even call it sef? Benefit of doubt for certain things like this. Just know that you are programming yourself to have become disorganized, and it's from a childhood issue. So there is commonly associated with abuse, emotional and physical, sexual abuse and chaotic fighting environment. That's why they don't know, they always need to give red, green, yellow light and all. They have lived in chaotic environment. Their parents have beat them, or their caregiver have beat them, but still come in the night to give them food, or still come in the night to have sex with them, and still profess nonsense even after beating them in the morning, or they'll beat them and buy them clothes. So when he beat you and he buy you a car, he's also wiring your brain to be disorganized, and you pass it down to your children. And most times the reason you tolerated it is because you saw your parents do the same thing. Your father probably hit your mom and but still gave her money for food, or hit your mom and still come morning devotion in the morning and you people pray. That kind of thing. So that's why when you saw it transfer to yourself too, or when you felt comfortable. So when you see certain persons having green light, red light, today they stop, tomorrow they give you yellow light that something is ready, the next time they give you green, let us become, and they go back. Sometimes you need to understand when people tell you who they are, you should actually believe it, because it shows that there's something deep that they need to work on that you are not aware until you enter inside it deeply. So the adult impact of this thing is that there's a push-pull dynamic in relationship. They are craving closeness, but they are fearing it at the same time. Like I said before, some persons go through this and that's why they just want to stay on their own. And in toxic relationship, if they eventually give in to that closeness that they crave, they will stay there because chaos feels familiar with them, and they interpret abuse as part of love. You as a friend, you have told your bestie or your leave that relationship, but she will still go again and tell them that it's only me that can control him until they send you to your early grave. So dis kind of things, dey fear living because safety feels foreign and uncertain. They don't know when anything will become safe. They don't know if there's a better tomorrow. People who have no idea, you know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, will stay in chaos because they don't know if there's a better tomorrow. It's better I stay with this place that are beating me, but at least I used to enter limousine, or at least I have free Wi-Fi, I have this one, than for me to go to somewhere that I don't have idea if it's going to be better or not. Unlike the secure attachment, if you let it go, tomorrow is a better day. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. There's someone better. God has prepared a place for us. The earth is of the Lord and the fullness thereof. So in this whole earth, you cannot tell one part of the earth that is of the Lord is not my portion. Those are the mentality you need to start developing. So there are growth paths for attachment styles. If you're following, please let me know that I've not been speaking to myself all this while. Let me see reactions. Or it's more like a thank you. Thank you. This is a very important. I cannot see other persons. Do you want us to stop? Okay. Thank you, Arize. Thank you, Tata. So we're going to into growth part for attachment styles. So in a moment, the into so the growth parts, let's start with, I have the avoidant as my first on my notes, but let me just explain as it is here. Or you just follow. Just follow me. Yes. So for the growth part for the secure attachment, they already have maintained that things are already working out for them, right? But that does not mean that there are not things to actually work on. So for the secure, they can maintain and deepen bonds. Since I feel like anybody who has a secure attachment style, or whose parents, whose caregiver were able to give them, we can make the world a better place by reaching out to certain persons that are going through this, or recommending them for therapy. Or if you eventually date somebody that is anxious, you will have to teach them how to be present. You may have to be present for them so that they can learn how to have a life of their own. People with attachment style do not really have a life of their own. That's why they always want, they feel somebody will go. But you need to first of all teach them to have a life of their own when nobody is involved. Or even if, and while you are doing that, you have to teach them how to be present in their life, and you to be present with them. So a secure attachment, you can continue to be practicing open communication and empathy, be a safe place for your friends, for your partners with these other insecure styles. You can secure people with because secure people, do you know the funny thing? Secure people can actually slip into unhealthy patterns under stress, because since they are the most secure persons, they may suffer from people pleasing if they are not careful, or they suffer from burnt out, because Imagine as a secure person, you have three different friends. One is disorganized, one is anxious, one is avoidant. You have to be pouring from your cup every time into these three persons. So you need to stay self-aware and also guide yourself and know when to, like again, we've discussed this, have independence and also um show emotional presence. So you need to know when to draw the line for certain things among your hearts and also teach them. You will not always be present. So the best thing sometimes is also teach them, like the actors, how to do it when you are not present. If not, you'll be burnt out. And when you're burnt out, you may slip into unhealthy patterns. You start shouting, anger, and all those kind of things that you did not have before. And you can also share deeper fears and dreams with your loved ones. So that, because once you have it all together, the anxious person or the disavoidant, disorganized or avoidant person may not know that you have some things going on in your life. So you can share your deeper fears with dreams. It will make them relate with you more on a deeper level, that this person understands us. He also has his own fears. She also has her own fears and all. So you can just move from telling them, instead of saying that you tell them, see, I have fears. Oh, it's just that I intentionally do not allow my fears to make me who I am. I grow from it. This is what I do. This is all. It's not that I'm all made. I have certain things I'm afraid of, and they will relate with you on that. It will make you relatable. Then the anxious attachment style. The anxious attachment style, one of the growth pattern you can actually, if you find yourself in this category, is to actually learn how to self-soothing skills, learn how to regulate your own emotion before reaching out. Deep breathing. So you can it's to inhale 4 seconds, exhale 4 seconds, and hold your breath for 8 seconds. I don't know how we are going to do that. So you're supposed to inhale, exhale, but when you're holding your breath, when you inhale 4 seconds, you hold your breath for like eight, then you exhale another 4 seconds. Because if you rush this, actually, you can still get angry. But when you're holding for that long, you can calm down, right? So you can ask what, because you're anxious. You can challenge negative thought patterns. What evidence do I have that they actually want to leave me? What was making them leave me? All those kind of things. Challenge all those ruminations that are coming to your mind. Communicate clearly. Instead of hitting or demanding, say what you need calmly. Instead of, imagine took a couple in a car and your favorite music is playing and your partner just change it. Just like, let me use myself. Okay, your partner just changes. Instead of saying that this is how you used to do every time, you will just be changing music. You don't care what I want. You can just say that anytime you actually do this, I feel like I'm not being heard, or I'm not, my feelings do not matter. That actually sends a deeper meaning that than this is how you used to do every time. You're just self-centered. They will become defensive when you say that. So you can build an identity. Again, I said it, outside relationship, career, hobbies, do something that is not relationship wise. Go out, do something that you like. Listen to music, write a book. The time you're even anxious, you can write a book. Do something that you like, paint. And you need to move forward. I need constant reassurance to feel or to. I'm more insecure in myself. My love is a gift I give and I receive. That's the part you want to take yourself to. So an avoidant person, attachment style, this is your good part. If you find yourself that you don't want to be attached to anybody, everybody should do their thing and all, and you just feel you're always protecting yourself from dangers of the world. Somebody can break up. This one that's vulnerable is sang will can chop breakfast. My story will not be like that. So please, I'd rather be single than chop breakfast. You need to learn, you can start small to learn how to practice emotional expression, because you've taken too many things deep inside of you and you've made pain your armor, right? So you can start small. Today was rough for me. Instead of bottling up what you feel, you can just start tell your friend that today was actually quite a rough day for me. And the person can go, oh, how was it? What happened? And you can just share little by little, little drops of water makes an ocean, right? And you can actually allow self-dependence. You can experience with leaning on a trusted person. Can experiment, that's what the word is, experiment with leaning on trust and see how it works, right? Most times you never can tell on it until you've tried it, and you should challenge the "I don't need anybody" belief. Healthy dependence does not equal to weakness. Please, you can be independent and still be strong. You can be dependent and still be strong. It's all about balance. And you should notice your avoidance triggers. Maybe when you start feeling the urge to run away, to you need to pause and start, why am I protecting myself? Why is this relationship threatening? Why am I feeling that this love is too much? Am I feeling like I don't deserve someone that is nice in my life? When you start asking yourself, it's too nice. Can't we just quarrel? Let's break bottle. That spirit is not of the Lord. The spirit that wants to break bottle is an evil spirit. The devil is a roaring lion, seeking for what to devour. It's the spirit of the devil that is asking yourself, ask yourself, why don't I deserve the best in this life? Must I look for someone that will press my neck in the night? Those kind of things is what you need to ask yourself. And I just, but you need to ask yourself these kind of things. And therapy focus, attachment based therapy can actually help you. There's something like that. A counselor, a psychologist can help you with this for you to be able to trust intimacy more. And after now, there's actually a link for you to test to see which attachment style you belong to. So I will share it after now. You can take the test. And yes, so lastly, the disorganized part. The growth part for disorganized, since his brain has been wired, or her brain has been wired for red, blue, and green light. He needs to acknowledge the trauma. You cannot heal from something you've not acknowledged. Healing requires you facing painful past experience with professional support. Note the word with professional support, right? Not with someone that will make you go through it again. You go and share it to someone that will take you through through the pattern again, or somebody that, since you some of these disorganized patients struggle with emotional abuse, physical abuse, you now share with somebody that is in the seat to repeat what you shared before. It will make you go through that thing again. So you need to seek um face those painful experience with professional support. Why you need to face it is because wounds will not heal from you hiding it. Instead, they will get rotten and they will eat you deeply, right? Then you need to learn how to establish stabilized emotional responses, like using grounding, mindfulness. Mindfulness works a lot. Body-based trauma therapies like somatic experiencing, just some therapies that I wish we take more serious, because the mind, once it's affected, can affect every other thing that you're doing. So staying grounded and being present to actually help you. And staying grounded is important is so that you will know and ask yourself certain questions why you feel chaos is more valuable to you than um having something good in your life again. So then you need to learn how to build trust gradually. Start with low risk relationship where consis ten cy is shown. If you are in any of these insecure relationships, insecure um attachment, you need to pray to the Lord for mercy to find a secure person, because you need to start with low risk relationship where consis ten cy is shown. At least start with your friends. If you've not seen a partner yet, start with your friends. Look for someone that is more consis ten t in your life. If you can have one friend that has been consis ten t, you will know that the problem is not that the problem is not from you. The problem is from the people you are choosing. They are inconsis ten t. But when you have just one friend that is platonic relation, and this friend keeps showing up for you, that's when you will know, tell yourself that the problem is really not you. Something might have happened to you before that wired your brain to like chaos, but it's those people that are affecting you. So start with low risk relationship where consis ten cy is shown. When you see it, you know that then there's somebody elsewhere that is now a partner that can actually be consis ten t like this your friend. So your therapy focus will be, if you eventually decide to meet a psychologist or a counselor, a therapist, will be trauma informed care, inner child healing, because you need inner child healing. Something went wrong somewhere. Like being loving chaos is not normal. It's not normal at all. So you need to learn how to build sense of safety. It's your relationship must not have quarrel before you know that the relationship is from the Lord. Ha! God please have mercy on us. Then finally, let's just do a recap of what we've said this evening, because all these things are important. And please, if you follow through, let me see that you did. So we've spoken about how this why this matters, early life experience, how they affect. We've spoken about attachment styles. We've spoken about how to break free from this toxic circle, because childhood trauma dey create insecure attachments, and insecure patterns repeat in adulthood as toxic circles. When you're afraid of somebody leaving you, you become clingy. When you're afraid of intimacy, you push people. You have trauma, you start having unhealthy coping mechanism, you will self-harm yourself, especially those in disorganized. You self-harm yourself because they are giving you little love. You look for something to numb the feeling. So this secure attachment protects against suicidal thoughts, while insecure attachment increase vulnerability for you to become suicidal. You will think these things are just little little until it just develop something, become something else. So we've spoken about all this, and again, one thing we should actually know is that secure attachment unlocks confidence in relationship, resilience during challenges, openness to deep intimacy. Healing insecure attachment, actually you can do it through therapy, you can do it through safe relationship that models security, your friends. You can practice self-awareness, journal, mindfulness, emotional check-in. And you should know that when you rewire your blueprint, you reclaim your power to love and be loved fully. Things happen to you when you were small does not mean that you actually remain there, or something happened to you does not mean you have to remain there. So in all, this is the reflection you should actually ask yourself. This is our reflection question. What attachment style do you recognize in yourself? How has it influenced your relationship? What is one step you can take to move forward to a secure attachment? Again, emotional bonds shape our relationship dynamics, whether you like it or not. If somebody is saying that if you think you can change somebody by coming, give you more, it means that you are an anxious attachment person. If you don't like commitment, at the moment somebody tell you I love you, you disappeared, is avoidant. If you're always giving green light, you want love, you don't want love today, it's disorganized, or you see persons like that. Those things. So you need to ask yourself, where am I and what can I do? So thank you for your attention. We kept to our time. Glory be to God. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you need clarity, please share right now. Thank you. Any question? Thank you, Kenneth. If we have questions, let me see. If you're on this call and you should be able to know all this and help others. So please, if we don't have question, I think we should call it a day here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for attending um Tab Family Check-in session for the month of August. It's my month. This topic has been in my mind for the past 2 months. I just wrote it down. I just feel like we should speak about it more, because we are more into religion, into so many things. You pray, you fast. You don't know that your attachment style is that fasting and prayer model. You need to learn all that things this time around. And when light come into your system, honestly, see what you know will actually help you go a long way than walking in darkness and asking yourself why some people are the principalities fashioned against you. But you can run away from those principalities when you understand that it's not you, it's them. The moment they tell you it's not me, it's them. Indeed, it was not you, it's them. So you will not be offended anymore. So, does somebody want to say something?
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, everyone watching and listening. Well, and so far I've really closely followed to all you have able to teach. I believe it is very, very impactful and quite insightful. I pray that God will help us uh, to for discernment and as well in life, so we don't get to have the wrong attachment. All right. So I would want to request like I think I left that in the comment section requesting for if the slide could be shared at the end of the session.
Yes, please. It can be shared. It can be shared.
All right. So I'll be expecting that. Okay.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so
All
much
right.
for the feedback. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Tata said, growing up in a loving environment lays the foundation for a stronger and more passionate family. We cannot emphasize that there's always a difference between someone that grew up in a secure environment and more compassionate family than another. You can always tell from the way they approach you, the way they communicate, the way they listen, the way they take their time, the way they don't judge you. There's always a difference. The way they approach you, the way there's always a difference. And I think each and every one of us should go, because our parents, they did the way they can, they tried. Now that we know, we should actually do better. We should not listen to this kind of session, do research, find out more, and now keep it and repeat the same pattern. Once your child is acting out, or a young adult near you is acting out, you don't judge them from the lens of why are you being irresponsible, but judge them for something happened this way and try to correct those things in the best way that we actually can. Because if everyone sweep the front of their house, the whole world will be clean. So instead of us pointing, this family did not do this one did not clean their own house, let everybody clean their own. Raise the child that you can raise well. Raise the sibling you can raise well. Raise the friend that you can raise. Help the friend that you can help well, so that them too, they can be able to transfer the same thing. Because again, you cannot give what you don't have. So thank you so much for joining tonight. The recording will be available by special grace of God. The slides too will be available. Do have a great night rest. If you have questions, you can share them now or send it to me and I'll respond as I can. Thank you so much for joining. God bless you all. Good night.
All right. Thank you so much. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.